maybe film photography just isn't it anymore. Dang. Or at least that's what I've been seeing a lot of online conversations exploring these days. And if you're new to the space, then honestly, why shouldn't you be questioning if this is a somewhat fleeting moment in photography? The hit ratio of bad to good shots can sometimes be discouraging. The total cost of Kodak and other disappearing film stocks certainly doesn't make this hobby approachable. The only difference between this and collecting Pokemon cards is no one at Costco is going to punch you in the face if you took the last roll of Portra. Or at least not yet. Let's face it, there are too many variables. But if I'm also being honest with myself, it really does feel like I take my best work when I'm shooting film. And for someone that's been in and out of the video and photography space for a little under 2 decades, it's a lot more fun. The idea of burst shooting a full frame Sony body actually gives me full on nightmares. Sure, you'll eventually get something, but was it really that fun to hold down the button until Bigfoot randomly runs in front of the lens?
You know, it's so interesting, this idea of shooting film means you take your time and you slow down. And I feel like that's probably just a necessity of the times, you know, because things are so expensive. But if you go back just 20, 25 years ago, the way that people are shooting digital cameras today at events, that's how they were shooting film then.
Honestly, lately even the idea of 36 exposures on a regular roll of 35 has been feeling a bit daunting. I've been slowly working through this same roll of Ultramax since January. That's not normal for me. But I think that change is going hand in hand with what a lot of people are expressing on the platform today.
You know, I've been trying to get out here for like a month. For weeks it's just been raining nonstop. And like the last 5 days, it was over 90 degrees out here, so it was like, I don't know that I want to deal with that in February. But the main takeaway is how windy it is. I might have to lose the hat.
The FOMO culture of chasing cameras has somewhat popped. Prices are higher than ever. The buzzwords and gimmick novelty of tactile have totally hit the mainstream. You're going to see a lot of your favorite creators begin to pivot to something that may not totally resemble their original formula. But when has that ever not happened? Artists can't stand still. The instinct to streamline a workflow that produces consistent results and preferred experience is never something to look down on. But I think the answer of film being the issue isn't exactly the correct problem to address. I'm sure as hell not going to stop using it. What we enjoy about shooting film has more to do about the philosophy than it does the nostalgic look, or at least it does for me. Film isn't expensive, photography is, on every level.
There's almost this lie we tell ourselves that because we're shooting film, we're taking our time more, and really, that's just something we could be doing with photography in general. We just happen to be doing it because we're poor.
So I challenge you to carve out some time over the next few months in shooting a camera that you haven't used before. Maybe a digital camera with the philosophy of film. And if you don't have a digital camera, I'm betting most of you at least have a phone. The powerhouse of the iPhone 16 I have in my pocket at all times is something I would have dreamed about when I was a kid. And I've been so thankful to have it in those fast fleeting moments when nothing else is available. Sure, being a purist is cool, but actually getting the shot you want is way cooler. Embrace your intentions, patience, and a deep awareness of composition, light, and subject, instead of firing off hundreds of shots with the safety net of unlimited storage. Because your cat photos have to go somewhere and Dropbox ain't cheap. Approach each frame as if it were only 36 exposures on a roll, thoughtfully composed, metered, and timed. And please resist the temptation to review every shot immediately. I think my mindset going forward won't come from a place of what seems more legit, but what gives me inspiration and a sense of fun. My Fuji X-T5 is a fantastic little camera, considering it's a crop sensor. And a part of me really regrets its purpose over the last 2 years mostly focused on capturing the video production side of this channel. The colors and images this camera produces straight out of the body before I've done anything to them in Lightroom is really something I shouldn't take for granted. Not everyone has access to such a fantastic tool, let alone the rest of my kit. But then that sort of re-asks the question, am I going to stop shooting film? Not even a little bit. But am I going to be making some changes? Absolutely. And if you're feeling somewhat similar, maybe you should discover that change for yourself. You know, hit up your local camera store, get on some photo walks, meet the community, explore and expand what you think makes you creative. All I know is I can't wait for my Pentax 6.7 to come back from being CLA'd because I miss the simplicity of it dearly and the images it produces. The purpose of this channel has definitely always had a heavy focus in helping preserve the magic and historical milestone that is and was film photography in our culture. And I love how it saved me from a jaded perspective, because I do really believe that my best work over the last 2 years has come from film, but I'm trying to get to a place where my best work is just my best work.